Hey up, Rock God 2004 back with another video for you, and this is part 4 of the Iron Maiden original UK pressings LPs. The last one was very long. It was nearly an hour. I'm hoping this one doesn't go on that long. I think it was because it had like the Best of the Beast box set in, and that included like with a couple of rants about the anti-Blaze people, and also, yeah, I think there's quite a few titles in that one as well. Only 2 parts left, so now we're up to the second from last. So let's get cracking with part 4. At the end of part 3, we cover the Rockin' Rio triple picture disc and the Edward the Great double picture disc of the greatest hits, which was their last release of 2002. They came back in 2003 with a brand new album, first studio album since Brave New World, and it was 2003's Dance of Death. This has been slated as probably the worst Maiden artwork ever. I kind of agree, I kind of disagree. The way I agree is because everything around Eddie is absolute bilge. It was rushed, it was slapped on, it wasn't finished, and it was just thrown out there. However, I do like that Eddie. I think the album would have been so much better had they taken all this crap off and just had him stood there. That kind of would have defeated the object when you listen to the lyrics of the song Dance of Death, where there's people dancing around in it, which I think is what these are supposed to represent. But it probably would have looked better with just him dressed as Death with his scythe, to be honest. But it's done. It was 2003. It's almost 20 years ago, and there's nothing can be done about it now. So once again, they've followed in the let's do a double picture disc format. The back got a great band shot with the track listing. First single off the album was the first song on side 1, which is Wildest Dreams. I've always liked that song. As it gets older and time goes on, I listen to it now, I like it even more. I think I've gone from liking it to loving it. I've always thought this was a really good album. I now think it's a great album. I love this album from start to finish. Wildest Dreams, Rainmaker, No More Lies. What a song. Love that song. Monsieur, wow, that's one of the heaviest on it. Dance of Death. I can't tell you how good that song is. It's one of the best on the album, if not the best. Gates of Tomorrow, I like that a hell of a lot more than what I used to. It's really catchy. Same with New Frontier. And then you get Passchendaele. Now, Passchendaele, when this first came out, I hated it. That was boring, overly long. And the only bit I liked was the it was like sort of to the middle towards the end. It was the solo. And I found it really dramatic, and I used to put a lump in my throat. Now, I absolutely love the entire song from start to finish. It's absolutely epic. Then after that, Face in the Sand. That's a cracking song. Age of Innocence. It's possibly one of the worst ones on it. But having said that, it's actually a really good song. Nico McBrain co-wrote this. And I've also learned that he learns when on the very rare occasion he does write, he learns like the music on the bass. And by all accounts, he plays very much like Steve Harris, which did surprise me. And the very last song on the album is the, oh God, this is one of my favourite ones as well, Journeyman. What a song. Puts a lump in my throat. It's just a beautiful song. And it's an acoustic song. They all play acoustic. They did that live and I nearly cried. They did it as an encore. And they all come on acoustic guitars and an acoustic bass. Wow, blew me away. And they're all just sat down except Bruce, who stood up. And then when the song like faded out at the end and the crowd went mad, you just heard the talk over bit of Number of the Beast straight afterwards. It was absolutely epic. It was amazing. So yes, Dance of Death's a great album. The inside sleeve's got the lyrics there. And band shots there. First time I've ever seen Steve Harris pout. And he doesn't suit it. Now these do have picture sleeve inners. But there's nothing on them, like lyrics or anything or photographs. It's just this really dozy ass pattern on both of them. So record 1 has the front cover horrendous artwork on side A. On side B, it's got the promo CD single artwork for Wildest Dreams. Record 2, which is the better looking of the two, has a great band shot on side 3. And on side 4, one of the dancers, which actually is better like that than as a sort of animated image on the front of the cover. And in the sleeve of mine, I've put this in. I got this given and I can't remember where I got it from, but it's the 12-inch promo flat for the Wildest Dreams single, which was like sort of a computer animated-y thing. The new single out now, limited edition. There was a CD, a DVD single, and 7-inch coloured vinyl. In 2003, they were down to 3 formats per single, which was really, really good, I thought. I think they should go back to now the same, like with like ridiculous amounts of pressings of records they're doing again now. So 3rd of December at Newcastle Arena. I was there for that one. So when it come out, I always thought it was a very, very good album. I now think it's an absolutely amazing album. I love it. Some absolutely fantastic songs in here. If you've never heard this, you need to listen to it if you like Maiden, or rock/metal in general. Great album. That's 2003's Dance of Death. 2004, there was nothing released. I think the Dance of Death tour was still on the go then. So in 2005, I know, I've done this for a long time. Let's release a live album. The date that I've got to admit, it is actually it's a really, really good album. And this is Death on the Road, which is recorded live on the Dance of Death tour. I'm only laughing because the amount of live albums they've released, I mean, they've been slated for it, but to be fair, most of them are actually pretty damn good. With this one, the very strange thing is they experimented with a song. They'd already done like Sign of the Cross, Future Real, and The Klansman. And on this tour, and it is on this album, they did attempt to resurrect another Blaze Bayley song, and it was one off the X Factor, and it was Lord of the Flies. Jesus, it's not good. I mean, don't get me wrong, Lord of the Flies isn't a fantastically brilliant song to begin with. But if you tell me that the version on here is better than the Blaze Bayley version on the X Factor, not only are you an idiot, but you are an outright liar. Because it really isn't. And that's nothing to do with Bruce's vocals. However, they have had to change the total key of the song to fit Bruce's vocals. And when it started, I didn't recognise it when I was at the gig. And then when I heard it here, I was like, oh. Needless to say, they've never done it again. So that's the back. Again, I wasn't overly fussed on this non-Derek Riggs Eddie. I'm assuming it's the same artist who did Fear of the Dark because the face looks a little bit similar. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all right. The inner sleeve, it's got the track listing and a lot of band shots. Wildest Dreams, Wrathchild, Caterpillar Madness, The Trooper, Dance of Death. World side one's amazing. Rainmaker, Brave New World, Passchendaele, and Lord of the Flies, which lets that side down. No More Lies, Hallowed Be Thy Name. Oh, Jesus, Fear of the Dark. And then the last side has got Iron Maiden, Journeyman, The Number of the Beast, and Run to the Hills. It's not their best live album by far. It really isn't. And I do actually like Live After Death better than this. It's not crap. I wouldn't say it was crap. But yeah, some strange song choices on this one. Double picture disc, a really, really, really thick and heavy picture disc. Side 1. Great stage shot on side 2. Disc 2, side 3, which is why, really why. They could have done so much better. And side 4 is another stage shot which shows the Dance of Death Eddie in the background there, which I think is a really good shot. Both records on this album just had plain black inners, and they weren't even like particularly coloured because like coloured black the covers, because the inners are white, so they've got like white sleeves and like sprayed them black, and like you get the catalogue number there, which I suppose technically made them like picture sleeves. They might as well just use white sleeves. Oh man alive, I'm glad. DMA art department, will you please get your shit together? So that's a very good, but not brilliant, double live album. Not the best they've done, not the worst they've done. It's just let down really by a couple of hiccups, like for instance, Lord of the Flies, and like every other live album, Fear of the Dark. So that's 2005's Death on the Road. 2006 brought out another brand new album. I love this album. I've not heard it for a long time, but I do know that even now as I listen to it, with more listens, it just gets better. It's one of them that's got like a couple of dodgy moments because like it's like long songs. I mean, I'm not against long songs, but they've got some long songs which I absolutely love, and I could listen like 3 and 4 times over. On the trot, I could listen to them. But then they've also got some long songs which you think, yeah, they're all right, but you're glad when they're finished. This has got a couple of them on. This is 2006, A Matter of Life and Death. I, for some bizarre reason, when I originally got this, left the price sticker on, and I am absolutely horrified to see what I paid for it. This is one of the ones that I actually, this was mine. I've had this from new. Look how much it was. $14.99. I do know how much this goes for now. I'm not even going to tell you. They got absolutely slated for this by the so-called I'm an Iron Maiden fan, but I love to slate them crew. Or because they had the balls, the barefaced cheek to perform the entire album from start to finish. How dare they without consulting us first? I thought it was a great idea. I loved it. It was something different. It was a load of new stuff that were in from start to finish, and fair play to them. It was something different. I would have liked them to have done it again with their last album, which I'm not going to mention because it's upcoming, but that's not going to happen. Again, for a nice change, double picture disc. Some fantastic songs on this, absolutely amazing. The first single off it was The Reincarnation of Benjamin Brig, which is beautiful. That came out on a limited edition 10-inch clear vinyl single, and the second single is actually the first track on the album, which is Different World. Great opener, nice short song. Then you get These Colours Don't Run. Wow, what a song. Brighter Than 1,000 Suns, that's one of the ones I'm not overly keen on. It's over 8 minutes long and it's far too long. Like I said, there's no wrong with long songs, but it's not a good enough song to be that long. I don't hate it. There's parts of it. It's got some quiet parts which are absolutely beautiful, but a lot of it goes on too long. The Pilgrim, I honestly cannot think what that is without hearing it. Or The Longest Day, because I don't think The Longest Day is one of my favourites. However, Out of the Shadows, oh, God, I love that song. The Reincarnation of Benjamin Brig, I love that song. For the Greater Good of God is heading for possibly my favourite song on the album. Wow, I would love to do a cover of that. Lord of Light and The Legacy. I don't remember them very much because they were two of the not as strong songs for me. But overall, this is a pretty damn fine album. And the back, Eddie with the Crossbow Guns. And when you open it up, it's got some songs of them actually recording the album with the lyrics. And then they started again doing inner picture sleeves, as well as lyrics inside. And I remember opening this for the first time, as though this was about like 5 years ago, because I remember seeing Steve Harris's bass, the West Ham bass, and I don't think he'd had it on quite that long. And again, more photographs of the recording sessions. And disc 1, side 1 is the album cover. Side 2, really, really good band shot. Record 2. That's a Somewhere in Time album, Eddie. But it's the Somewhere Back in Time era. Yannick Gers there and Dave Murray. How canny is he? Bless him. And on the other side, got Bruce recording his vocals. And some other recording bits there. I don't know why, but that track list in there reminds me of the type of thing Metallica would put. James Hetfield's always like posting stuff like that, like bits of graffiti in his handwriting. So record 2, side 3. And the last side, oh, very casual, side 4. So yeah, Matter of Life and Death, great album. A couple of dodgy bits in. I used to like this better than Dance of Death, but now, no, I like Dance of Death better. But I do really, really like both albums. So yeah, that's 2006's A Matter of Life and Death. 2007, nothing was released because they were doing the Matter of Life and Death tour. And then they also, I'm sure they did another tour after that, where it was like another best of type of thing. I think in 2005 as well, they'd done the early days DVD in 2004, and then in 2005 they did like a best of like tour. It was all like the old stuff, and I can't remember if it was that one or the sort of like best of thing just after A Matter of Life and Death that was called the Gimme Head Till I'm Dead tour. One of them was called that anyway. So while they were touring, and because we're not recording, it's all they ever really do, to be honest. So the next year after A Matter of Life and Death, they brought out their third compilation. So they'd done the Best of the Beast, which was the humongous box set in '96. And then they did Edward the Great in 2002. And then in 2007, 5 years later, they did Somewhere Back in Time, the best of 1980 to 1989. They did a Somewhere Back in Time tour, and the only place that they did over here was Twickenham Stadium in July of 2008. Oh, and I was there. I hadn't actually been with Laura long. We'd literally got together. I think it was a month or so before. And my mate and me were supposed to be going, and he actually gave her his ticket, bless him, to go and see them at Twickenham Stadium. Oh God, what a gig that was! What a show! And it was like all this tour. Back's got the track listing. Inside, it's got some like singles artwork and lyrics, I do believe it is. Yeah. And then it's got like a sort of a album discography only covering the albums that this is compiled from. So you've got on this one Churchill's speech, then the live version of Aces High. Then you've got 2 Minutes to Midnight, The Trooper, Wasted Years, Children of the Damned, The Number of the Beast, Run to the Hills, Phantom of the Opera, The Evil That Men Do, Wrathchild, Canopy of Madness, Power Slave, Hallowed Be Thy Name, and Iron Maiden, and Not a Fear of the Dark in Sight. Get in. Record 1. God almighty, man. I'd rather have band shots or photos or something. I like these. Side 1 is the front cover, which looks excellent. It's like a sort of a modern day Power Slave with a futuristic Eddie on. Then you get a shot from the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son stage on side 2. Side 3, good old Edward. And side 4 is a shot again from the World Slavery. Oh, not again. First time was Seventh Son. World Slavery Tour. Another humongous Eddie there. Excellent little compilation. This also came out on CD. I think for me, this was like a really good introduction into Maiden if you've not really heard much. So I did actually get the year wrong for this. I said 2007. This one was released actually in 2008. 2007 there was no releases because they were doing that Gimme Head Till I'm Dead tour. So yeah, great compilation. That's 2008's Somewhere Back in Time. In 2008, the band were on tour and they filmed like a feature-length documentary. It came out on DVD and Blu-ray, but before it did, it got a very, very limited cinema release. And it was recorded on the Somewhere Back in Time tour. I was hoping there was going to have a little snippet from the gig that we were at Twickenham. Unfortunately, it didn't. But the film and the soundtrack album was called Flight 666. Again, a double picture disc. This is a live album, but they've took songs from all the different gigs recorded around the world, so you'll sort of like play one song and you'll hear it like sort of fade out and then the next one will fade in. It's not just one performance, it's taken from all over the world. And this is a fantastic live album. And I was over the moon to get Moonchild live because I hadn't heard it live since the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son tour. So yeah, the inner sleeve, the gatefold sleeve has got the most amazing Eddie. I've got this on a t-shirt somewhere, and I'm 99% sure it's a Rigsy one, and you can tell. Look at that. And then record 1, inner sleeve, photos on. The plane, they hired that Boeing 747 and they customised it and put the Maiden logo and Maiden artwork on, and Bruce, for the first time, flew them around the world entirely on this tour. He did it again on the Book of Souls tour, but I think this was the first time he did it, and that was also partly why the documentary was made, to be covered. So side 1 is the front cover. Side 2 is a live shot. Record 3's inner sleeve, photos, and a load of bumps that I can't read because I don't have my glasses on. There's the plane. That'll be old Bruce taken off there. And side 3 is the back end of the plane with the artwork on. And side 4 is another live shot. Now, when I said this got a very limited cinema release, it was basically one day, one showing. And I went. And I was adamant that I wanted a poster, you know, the actual cinema posters, the UK quad posters. I didn't even know if one existed, to be honest. Anyway, I went down to my local cinema, walked in. There was one up inside. There was a guy selling some of the old posters for Guide Dogs charity. And he was selling them. They were like £3-4 each or something like that. It wasn't a lot, and you were getting like the proper cinema poster. And I said to him, I want that one. He went, oh, shit, I can't get that. It's just gone up today. And I said, if I can have that today, I'll give you a tenner for it. And he looked at the poster, and he looked at me, and he went to me, if you give me a tenner for that poster, I'll take it down now. I went, done. So he took it down, and I gave him the tenner. And apart from the other one that they had in for somebody else, I have never seen that UK quad poster anywhere else ever again. I've looked on eBay for sale. It's not there. Never comes up. I reckon I've got an exceptionally rare Maiden thing there, and it's the original official UK quad poster. I will dig it out one day and show it. But yeah, it's the quad poster for Flight 666. There wasn't many because not a lot of cinemas showed it, with it only being the one showing on one day. So it's a bit like Rocking Horse Poo, and I've got one. I need to find it though, because it is in a tube roll. It's not like it's crushed or anything, but yeah, I honestly do have one. And it was absolutely phenomenal at the cinema to see it. It was like, wow. It was absolutely breathtaking. So that is 2009's Flight 666. The following year, 2010, they released a brand new album. And there was like a lot of buzz about this this record before it came out. And I was so excited. When I saw the artwork, I really didn't like the Eddie, because it didn't look like him. It was just like, it was basically science fiction. And that was 2010's The Final Frontier. There was talk about this possibly being the last album with that title, but obviously 12 years later they're still going, so it wasn't. Again, a double picture disc. This seems to be getting harder to find now as well. And there's the back with the track listing. The gatefold sleeve with a lot of the early sketches of the horrendous futuristic Eddie. And then record 1. It's got that on one side, the sleeve, and the lyrics for all you sci-fi fans on the back. Double picture disc, you know, just for a change. I do love the colours on this. It's just the Eddie face I don't like. But there's side 1, which looks really, really nice. Side 2, which I think was on some of the tour posters. Close-up of Eddie's head. Record 2. That on one side of the inside picture sleeve. And that on the other. Lyrics over another sci-fi looking thing. Side 3 is like a silhouette photo of the band, which I actually think looks really good. And side 4, which looks utter gash, is like a cartoon type of looking Planet and Eddie. Now, for people who think that I just like every single Iron Maiden song and every single album and everything they've ever done, I've got nothing bad to say about them, oh, you are wrong. This is the biggest pile of bilge they have ever released, in my opinion. I don't know anybody can like this and have the balls to complain about the Blaze Bayley stuff. Because this is cack. It's got 3 or 4 decent songs. Right, Satellite 15, which is the overlong intro, and 99% of fans seem to moan about that. I don't mind that. The Final Frontier, pretty good song. El Dorado, pretty damn good song. Then you've got Mother of Mercy, which I can't even remember. Coming Home's a good song. The Alchemist. The Isle of Fairlawn, Starblind, and The Talisman, and The Man Who Would Be King. All of those ones I've just listed, I hated them. I couldn't tell you how they go. And the very last song on the album, When the Wild Wind Blows, is absolutely epic. A fantastically brilliant song. I love it. It does not belong on that album. I keep saying I'm going to give this another listen. I've tried 3 or 4 times over the years, all the way through, possibly more, and I just don't get it. I just don't like it. I probably, the last time I played it was when the re-releases came out, and I did seem to like it better on that listen. However, it was that good, I haven't listened to it again. But I shall. I used to listen to it in the car. I think I listened to it all the way through 2 or 3 times, and then I just kept going back to the same songs, mainly When the Wild Wind Blows, and like The Final Frontier and El Dorado sometimes. I could quite happily, though, just listen to When the Wild Wind Blows and never hear another song on that album ever again. It wouldn't bother me. This, to me, was that disappointing that I didn't care if they didn't release another album after it, because I'd never, ever thought it, ever, in their entire career about one of their albums. And then when this came out, I was like, that's it, they're done. Couldn't believe it. But they proved everybody wrong. It wasn't their last album. And they did carry on. And I'm glad they did, because the ones that came after this, wow. So yeah, that is 2010's very, very poor The Final Frontier. The following year, 2011, Maiden's, I think it was 4th compilation came out. And because they'd done the Somewhere Back in Time for the earlier albums, this one was it was like an introduction to the later stuff for anybody who hadn't been buying the albums but were curious. But because obviously the songs were getting longer and stuff, they made this a triple album. And this is From Fear to Eternity, the best of 1990 to 2010. Again, it ain't exactly Riggsy, so to me that's sort of on a par with the Death on the Road artwork the face is very similar. And on the back, it's like that silhouette shot that was on one of the Final Frontier discs with a different colour. And then the trifold sleeve. I think it's lyrics, yeah. I'll tell you what, they've wasted a lot of paper with lyrics, reprinting them. I mean, now wait, man, look at that. Iron Maiden, the bloody comic strip. However, that's one of my lovely favourite Eddies there. So record 1. Back to the polylined inner white sleeves. Now this was a bit of a cheat because you get like side 1. What a cop out. Side 2 is the front artwork, which actually I think looks better on the record than it does on the front sleeve. Record 2, side 3, same as side 1 but a different colour. See what I mean by cop out? I do like this picture though. Side 4, nice band shot. That's a great shot, that. And record 3, side 5. And side 6, which is a stage shot from the Final Frontier tour. So this, yeah, some absolute cracks on this as well. The Wicker Man, ooh, Holy Smoke, Eldorado, Passchendaele, Different World, Man on the Edge, the reincarnation of Benjamin Brieg, Blood Brothers, Rainmaker. Record 2's got Sign of the Cross, which they've used the live one, not the Blaze Bailey one. Brave New World, Fear of the Dark, you know, just for a change. Rainmaker, no, it's not, I've said Rainmaker, it's Be Quick or Be Dead. Tail Gunner, No More Lies, Coming Home, The Clansman. And record 3, For the Greater Good of God, What a Song. These Colours Don't Run, what a song. Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, they're only number 1. And the last side, Afraid to Shoot Strangers, Dance of Death, and When the Wild Wind Blows. So the vast majority of this is actually a pretty damn fine compilation. So that is, what year was that? 2011's From Fear to Eternity. And that, my friends, completes section 4. One left to go, one last batch to go. And I think, to be honest, when I added them up, I got it wrong. I actually think there's 32 albums, not 31. That's making Best of the Beast only 1. I'll count them all up and I'll let you know right at the end of the last one how many there is. But that is one hell of a lot of albums for one band from 1980 until sort of now. Wow, that's some going. So yes, thank you very much for watching this part 4 of the Maiden UK releases, original first pressings. There's one batch left, part 4, which I'll do very soon. I'm going to also try and do a film related one before that, because I haven't done one for a while now. I've been concentrating on the Maiden stuff. So I'm going to do a Blu-ray one, I think, before I get part 4 done. So yeah, thank you very much indeed, all 2 of you, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed all the Maiden ones. Let me know what you think. If you'd rather me not do any more Maiden, let me know. Let me know if you think these Maiden ones are a load of crap, you're not interested, or whatever, or if you like them. So far, I've only had positive comments, but if you don't like them, let me know, because I would like to sort of wait up to make sure that I need to carry on with them or not. I will finish the album ones, but if nobody wants to know what the singles and the other stuff and the Japanese pressings and things, I won't bother. So yeah, whether you like it or not, let me know in the comments below. I will put links in the description as well, just in case you've just discovered this one and you haven't seen the others, for parts 1, 2 and 3. And that's it for this one, really. Yeah, thank you very much indeed for taking the time out to watching me drivel on. I honestly do appreciate it, and To all my subscribers, thank you so much, because I didn't think this was going to take off. And I've got over 200. I'm absolutely blown away. Thank you very much. You are all too kind. I shall see you very soon. You all take care of yourselves. See you later.